What's up guys, Virgil here for JRPG Central, and today I wanted to do just a quick video over the Radiant Historia Perfect Chronology demo that just dropped just earlier today. The demo's available now for you to download if you want to check it out for yourself. I just downloaded it and just got done playing about 2 hours of the demo, and so I'm just going to give kind of my first impressions of the demo as well as the game itself. So first and foremost, for context, I've never played the original Radiant Historia, so this is my first experience with the game at all. So keep that in mind with my impressions. These are completely fresh impressions of the game as a whole, as well as this version of the game. I'll kind of be doing this in two parts. To start off, I will be doing just my impressions of Radiant Historia as a game, just kind of what I thought of it going in. And then towards the end, I will kind of compare the differences between this 3DS version and the original DS game. So without any further ado, let's get right into it. Radiant Historia is a very classical style turn-based JRPG with some seemingly pretty cool time travel elements. You play as the character Stock, who works for the military and is given this item called the White Chronicle, which you find out later in the demo allows you to replay parts of history that you may want to change. And from what I've gathered, in the original there were two main timelines, and this remake/port brings it to 3 timelines. And if our demo is exactly like the demo that was released in Japan, you are allowed to play the first entire chapter of each timeline. Basically, you can play the first chapter of the first timeline, the first chapter of the other timeline, and after doing both of those, you unlock the first chapter of the third timeline. And the awesome thing is, not only do you get bonus things for playing this demo that carry over into the main game, this entire demo is the first part of the main game. So once you get the full game, your gameplay up to that point will carry straight into the full game, which is a really great addition, and a feature I wish a ton more demos did, because it kind of sucks to play a part of a demo and then get the full game and have to play through that part again. But as far as my first impressions of the actual game, I was very impressed with it. All the characters are fairly likable, the dialogue is written incredibly well. The world kind of has this steampunk vibe going for it, which I really dig. But easily the star of the demo is the battle system. The battle system uses this grid-based system, which at first glance, when you hear grid-based, that may make you think of a game like Fire Emblem, but it's actually nothing like that. It's a little difficult to describe, but there are basically 3 lanes on your opponent's side of the field that you can manipulate and move enemies around, and basically stack them on top of each other, and while they're all stacked in one spot, if you attack that spot, you attack all of the enemies in one go. You can also give your turn to another party member of yours at any point, allowing you to arrange the enemies in the perfect way that you want them and then attack at the very end of what they call a combo in the game. It's a very awesome battle system and something I really wasn't expecting going into it. I was really expecting just a straight turn-based, very traditional style of gameplay. So seeing something like that really makes me kind of hyped to play more of it. So if you're on the fence about getting the game, I cannot recommend the demo enough. You are literally playing the first part of the game, and so you can play the first hour or 2 or 3, and then from there decide if you want to play the rest and get the game. It's a really great deal for everybody, honestly. Now on to the actual differences between the 3DS version and the original DS version. This is the part that's a little controversial for some people, but largely the game is pretty identical to the DS game. There are a few improvements. For one, it's a 16:9 aspect ratio, so you get to see a lot more of the map at once. The character portraits have been updated for better or worse. Some people don't like the new portraits, some people like them more. I myself, it kind of depends on the character. For instance, the main character Stock, I think, had better portrait art in the original game, but other characters I think have better art in this game, so I honestly could go either way on that. You, of course, have that third timeline, which I talked about earlier. That's probably the biggest addition to this game, as well as like some balancing and stuff like that, I believe. But I think the biggest addition for me is probably that the game is fully voiced now. It's fully voice acted. In Radiant Historia, I've always heard that it had great dialogue, and it really does. And in my opinion, the voice acting just shows how good that dialogue is, because it really brings the story to life and helps you kind of immerse yourself in this world and this war, and it's really good. There are some characters that don't have great voice acting, but for the most part, it was all pretty good. Sadly, it's dub only. You can't choose between English and Japanese, which is kind of a bummer. You can, however, choose to turn them off completely. You can go into the settings and turn the voice volume all the way down to 0 if you just don't want that at all, so that's a nice choice as well. But aside from those changes, the game is largely exactly the same. Graphically, it looks a little better, and I mean just a little better. For the most part, sprites are identical. Some of the environments look a little better. You'll see like less DS-style 3D pixelation. But yeah, you can honestly just buy the original one and play it on your 3DS and have largely the same experience. For me personally, I would say it's worth it just for the aspect ratio and the addition of the voice acting. But either way, just from the few hours that I have played, definitely recommend the game. I can totally see, just in this first prologue that I've gone through, I can see why it became such a big deal. But anyway, that's all I really have to say about it. Just wanted to make a quick video for anybody out there who was kind of curious about the game. Again, cannot recommend the demo enough. It's one of the best ways I've seen a demo be handled. Go out, download it, check it out, and decide for yourselves. But anyway, that's it for me, guys. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you guys have any kind of questions about the demo at all, let me know in the comments down below. I'd be more than happy to answer any kind of questions. Anyway, thank you guys again so much for watching. I hope you all have a great day, and I will catch you guys in the next video.